Continue with beautiful prophecies, the messianic prophecies of Yeshayah, chapter 61, Perek, Samach Aleph, Ruach Adonai, Elohim Alai. Ya'an mashach Adonai oti levaser anavim, shelachani lachavosh lenishberei lev, lekro lishvuyim dror, v'la'asurim p'kach koach. The Spirit of God has come upon me, right? God has anointed me. Why has God anointed me? To announce joy to the poor, to the humble, to bind those who have wounded heart, right? Shavur lev, to proclaim liberty to those who are captive, liberation to the imprisoned. This is what Yeshayah is saying ultimately is his vision. It's not just to warn Bnei Israel about the difficult things, about the hard things that are going to happen, but God has been telling him to tell Bnei Israel they're going to be free. God has anointed me to release you from your bonds, release you from your chains, to open up your eyes to dreams and to hopes. Likro shnat ratzon ladonai, v'yom nakam le'Eloheinu, l'nachem kol avelim. To proclaim a year of God's favor, a day of victory, and a day of vindication, to comfort all who mourn. Right? So what does this mean, a year? Is this some sort of, you could look at it as being like related to Shemitah, the sabbatical year. But this is saying this is a time where good things are going to happen. Lasum la'avlei Tzion latet lahem pe'er tachat efer. To provide for the mourners of Zion. And this is this question we've discussed many times. Who is this Yeshayah? Is this the person during the time of the first temple? Well, why are they avlei Tzion? Why are they mourners of Zion? Is he predicting in the future after the destruction of the first temple? The second Yeshayah, who's living during in between the first and the second temple period. But look at the words. What does he say? He's going to take them pe'er tachat efer. So we have the same words. Pe'er means glory, efer, ashes. So that's what's going to happen. It was similar in the last verse, last chapter, we had the idea of if you were thinking of copper, you'll get gold. And so here too, we're going to go, but even further from the signs of mourning to the signs of celebration. Shemen sason tachat evel, you will have ointments, perfumes instead of mourning, to put on that sort. Ma'ateh tachat tihila, a beautiful garment instead of a drooping spirit. Evel ma'ateh tihila tachat ruach keha, joy and happiness instead of low spirit. And they will be called the trees of victory or righteousness, planted by God for his own glory. And they will rebuild the ancient ruins. Shomimot rishonim yikomemu. They'll raise up the desolation, the things that are empty from the past. And they'll renew all of the ruined cities, the desolation, the things have been destroyed over many ages, over generations. And strangers will see, and they will come and they will do your work. They will be your shepherds. And foreigners will be your plowers and the ones who go and trim your vines. And you will be called the priests of God. They will look at you and call you the servant, a misharet, the servant of God. You will enjoy the wealth of nations. We talked about this over the last number of chapters, and revel in their riches. And think about refer to a second temple period. But if you've been to Rome, so there's an old plaque, ancient plaque, I think it's 2,000 years old or so, that says in the Colosseum that the funds for the building of the Colosseum were provided from the destruction of Jerusalem. So they took our wealth to build their temples, to build their stadiums, to build their civilizations, not only our wealth, the wealth of many nations. And so this is the reversal, the same way we're doing pa'er tachat efer, glory instead of ashes. Here too, all of that wealth is going to come back to Bnei Yisrael. And obviously, we know that this is contingent upon good, moral behavior. Tachat boshtechem mishneh uchlima yaronu chalkam lachein ba'artzam mishneh yirashu simchat olam tieh lahem. Because your shame was double, and men said about Bnei Yisrael that they disgrace. That's what they will. They are shamed. Because of that, you will have a double portion. Its joy will last forever. Ki ani Adonai ohev mishpat sonei gazel ba'olah. Because I am God who loves justice and hates thievery. That's what I am. V'natati pulatem be'emet uvrito olam echrot lahem. And I will pay your wages faithfully, and I will make a covenant with you for all time. V'noda b'goyim zar'am v'tzetzayim b'toch ha'amim kol ro'ehem yakirum ki hem zera beirach Adonai. And the offsprings of all the nations will know, and all the descendants from all the different countries, everybody will recognize that you are the descendants, the stock of the nation that God has blessed. So sasis b'Adonai tagel nafshi belohai kil bishari begde yeshya mi'il tzedakah ya'atani kechatani chahin pe'er v'chakala ta'ideh cheleha. I greatly rejoice in God. My whole being is enveloped and joyous because of God. God who clothed me in Bigdei Yesha, in garments of glory, garments of triumph. Like, I guess it's like wearing if your team won the World Series or something, you wear the World Series clothing. You wrap me in a robe of victory, like a bridegroom in his beautiful turban. Before we had the word pa'er, which means glory. It also refers to pa'er can also mean a headdress, but obviously it's a turban is a sign of prestige and importance, or like a bride bedecked with her finery, right? So this is who Yeshayah is, and it's very just good. It's beautiful to see, a personal chapter. We've had personal chapters where Yeshayah was bemoaning his fate and the difficulties of sort of spitting into the wind and the difficulties of dealing with the people who don't want to listen. And now he's saying, look at what God has done to me in order to be the mevaser, to tell you about the beauty that's going to come to you. Ki ha'eretz totzi simcha v'chagana zeru'eha tatzmiach ken Adonai Elohim yatzmiach tzakau tila neged kol ha'goyim. For as earth brings forth her growth and a garden, right? The seeds, the plants shoot up, so will God make victory. And your tehillah, those who praise you, it will shoot up in the presence of all nations. You have been the nation that has suffered, that has struggled, that has terrible victory, but that will stop. And interesting, we think about that. He talks about the bride and groom. When we think about a bride and groom, for the wedding is supposed to be just the beginning. So all the nations will see the glory that has come to you, but that's not the pinnacle. It's something that's just the beginning of a process of great glory for Bnei Yisrael when we act righteously, and God will redeem us, taking the ashes and taking the hardship and the difficulty and turning them into joy and peace for our people.